In a bid to curtail the effects of the impending implementation of excise tax for automobiles, the all-new Subaru XV has retained the pricing of the outgoing model. During the press conference shortly after the launch of all-new Subaru XV, Tan Chong International Limited's managing director Glenn Tan said that Motor Image Pilipinas, MIP, will retain the pricing for the second-generation XV to compensate with the possible adjustments once the excise tax on vehicles is implemented. Tan Chong International Limited is the umbrella company that distributes Subaru vehicles in the Southeast Asian region under the Motor Image Group, which MIP is a part of. Prior to the revealing of the move, MIP General Manager Jerry Hernandez said that the adjustment for the XV based on MIP's analysis would be around P80,000 to P100,000. With that, Hernandez said that they are eyeing minimal growth for annual sales after revealing that MIP sold 3,047 units in 2016. When asked by the media if the company can hit 3,300 unit sales for this year, Hernandez affirmed, saying that they could hit the target through the help of the all-new Subaru XV. The prices of the two variants of the all-new Subaru XV are P1.348 million for the 2.0i CVT and P1.538 million for the top-of-the-line 2.0iS.
Nissan Motors revamped Leaf, its signature fully electric car, is slated to go on sale in Japan on Monday. The new model from an automaker that calls itself an electric car leader has a sales target of 100,000 or so units a year. The number does not sound particularly ambitious, considering that rival Tesla's latest Model 3 attracted 500,000 or so orders. Behind Nissan's moderate attitude is a bitter lesson of struggling to balance the dream and the reality of pushing the next generation vehicles. Sustainability is the most essential thing for a business, said Hideyuki Sakamoto, executive vice president of the automaker. Nissan isn't a gambler. The comment was an indication that the automaker would not try to sell as many Leafs as possible by offering low prices. The new Leaf bears a price tag of 3.15 million yen, $27,980 and up. Even taking into account government subsidies for electric car ownership, worth 400,000 yen or so, the price is higher than Toyota Motors' Prius Hybrid, which sells for 2.4 million yen and up. Nissan has received some 4,000 pre-orders for the new Leaf in 10 days or so. Although the pace is faster than expected, the attraction somehow seems not powerful enough. In early September, a day after Nissan unveiled the next generation Leaf, the automaker's share price temporarily fell 1%. Investors had expected that a new Leaf could serve as a game-changer in the electric car market, but the price and functions were nothing inventive, said Kota Yuzawa of Goldman Sachs Japan. However, that market disappointment was probably within the automaker's expectations. While adequately featuring state-of-the-art technology, Nissan made the most of parts from the previous Leaf to achieve the desired cost-profitability balance for the revamped version. The new Leaf is not a loss-making model, said a Nissan executive. When the first version of the Leaf was released in 2010, Nissan was more obsessed with romanticism, with comments such as "We are going to be the leader of zero-emission cars, and we will combine electric cars and smart homes." But that dream turned out to be an obstacle for achieving an overly ambitious sales target. Nissan seems to have recognized the gap between dream and reality. Carlos Ghosn, Nissan's chairman who also heads the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi Motors Alliance, is cautious about rapidly shifting to electric cars. In mid-September, the chairman unveiled the alliance's midterm plan through 2022, in which the group set the proportion of electric cars and other electricity-powered vehicles at 30% of all vehicles. Changing market. The chairman did not specify a precise proportion for electric cars, explaining that it could depend on changes in restrictions by regulators for emissions, as well as cost improvements for batteries, over years. The electric car market has changed significantly over the last 7 years. New players from other sectors are entering the market, threatening traditional automakers with innovative ideas. Leading electric car maker Tesla from the US now has a goal to create a new form of social infrastructure by connecting mobility and renewable energy, namely, electric cars, battery technology and solar power. Tesla last year sold 76,000 or so cars, which is equivalent to a mere 1% of the number Nissan moved during the same period. Nonetheless, the stock market appears to be appreciating Tesla more than Nissan. Tesla's market capitalization has exceeded $56 billion, greater than Nissan's roughly $46 billion. Sanshiro Fukaro, a senior analyst at American Research Institute, explained that the appreciation comes from growth expectations for Tesla's potential to be not only a car maker but also a technology and energy player. Waiting for the right time, say, a technological breakthrough for batteries, could put Nissan behind its rivals. Nissan could be driven more by romanticism and seek to create a smart mobility society, rather than focusing on calculating profitability just within the electric car framework.
The Subaru Forester compact SUV receives a couple of significant changes for 2018. The top-shelf 2.5i Touring and 2.0 XT Touring get the EyeSight safety package as standard equipment. Automatic high-beam headlights and reverse auto braking now go on EyeSight-equipped Foresters. The other change of note is a new Black Edition package, which is a $1,150 option for the 2.5i premium model. The package includes black 18-inch alloy wheels, black exterior and interior trim, and adaptive LED headlights. Besides black, the package is available with gray, white or silver paint. The Forester has a compact footprint, but its tall shape enhances passenger and cargo space. As with all Subarus but the BRZ sports car, all-wheel drive is standard. Most models come with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine and Subaru's traditional horizontally opposed layout, as opposed to inline cylinders. The 2.0 XT versions use a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder, also with horizontally opposed cylinders. On base 2.5i and 2.5i premium models, a 6-speed manual transmission is standard and a continuously variable automatic transmission is optional. The CVT is standard on other versions. The current Forester looks less utilitarian than its predecessors but still emphasizes functionality, safety and all-weather traction.
As the flashing blue lights coming towards us got brighter and the wail of the siren louder, I knew it was going to be close, very close, but it was still a shock when the fire engine hit us. Another vehicle had moved and the driver of the fire engine had been forced to adjust his line in the split second before he slalomed through the finicky crossroads. Under the circumstances, it was a fine piece of driving. If the door mirrors on the Subaru Forester were not so large, the fire engine would probably have whistled past uninterrupted. As it was, the mirror took the full force of the impact from the fully lit-up fire engine, though such was the blur of noise and energy, and the gentle rocking of the car on its springs in the immediate aftermath, that I was sure that the whole side of the Subaru had disappeared up the Lisburn Road. The fire service was exemplary, stopping to take my phone number before speeding onto their call. They still got there in time, incidentally, and phoned me back that afternoon to check we were unhurt and to swap insurance details. The episode was instructive in a number of ways. First, it was a reminder that the fire service, who had doubtless just had a busy night dealing with over-ambitious 11th night bonfires at various cultural expression zones, do a difficult job under the greatest of pressure. Second, accidents happen. Third, once insurance companies know you have been involved in an accident, you will be plagued by phone calls and letters from lawyers offering to represent you in your claim for damages. Even when you have told them, repeatedly, to leave you alone and that neither you nor your wife were hurt. Fourth, Subaru build their cars really, really tough. After turning onto finicky road south from the crossroads, I was able to properly take in what devastation had been wrought to the Forester. The sum total of damage caused by the fire engine's cloud with the Subaru was the loss of the body-colored piece of plastic that acted as the mirror cap. And the indicator bulb in the mirror was broken. That was it. The mirror itself had been folded in against the window of the driver's door in the impact. I was bracing myself for the whole mirror to fall off as soon as I touched it, but it popped back into position without complaint. More amazing was the fact that the electric motor which folds the mirror in and out when the car is locked and unlocked, still worked perfectly. The mirror didn't even need to be adjusted back into the right position. Nor was there a mark on the window. It was impossible to be other than hugely impressed by how the Forester had shrugged off this sort of impact, albeit a glancing blow, that I am certain would have resulted in far more damage on a lesser car. To be honest, most ordinary cars feel lesser than a Subaru. They are shot through with a rare sort of integrity. There is a depth to its abilities that mere figures, such as horsepower and fuel consumption, boot size and acceleration, the sorts of statistics that are the normal stock in trade of columns like this one, somehow don't adequately communicate. The plastics might not be as well textured and soft touch as you find in a Volkswagen. The sat-nav and infotainment may not be as intuitive and as easy on the eye as something from BMW or Audi. And appreciation of the styling is not likely to be the chief reason you buy one. But few other cars feel as well engineered as a Subaru from the moment you get behind the wheel. The company has stuck, with the dogged contrariness of the ideologue, to its idiosyncratic drivetrain layout. This makes a boxer engine, so-called because the pistons punch horizontally, rather than the up and down inline configuration that almost everyone else uses, with a symmetrical four-wheel drive system in which all the drive axles are equal length. Subaru and Porsche, with its sports cars, are the only manufacturers to use boxer engines, citing their inherent lack of vibration and the fact that they have a lower center of gravity than their inline counterparts, as the main advantages. Toyota's GT86 Sports Coupe has a boxer, but that car's engine is a Subaru unit, and in any case it is paired with Subaru's BRZ. A lower center of gravity contributes to better balance and handling, which in turn aids safety. Subaru was late to get a diesel boxer to market. Its biggest markets are places like the United States, where there is no demand for the fuel, and while its power, torque and emissions figures are not class-leading, at least on paper, it is a very pleasant unit to operate. Dovetailing with the engine, the symmetrical all-wheel drive system is also a rather pure engineering solution. The systems found in most four-wheel drive cars are essentially adaptations of two-wheel drive veterans, but the Subaru version is 4x4 from the start. It is a layout that works brilliantly with the boxer engine, and it is permanently engaged, unlike the on-demand systems found elsewhere. You can have your Subaru with a manual or automatic gearbox. Typically, its take on the auto is unusual, using a continuously variable transmission, or CVT, which it calls lineartronic. Subaru is one of the few manufacturers who seems to have managed to make a CVT work without an overbearing excess of whining and constant revs under acceleration that can be experienced in CVT cars from other manufacturers. 7 artificially fixed ratios are built into lineartronic to give the impression of normal automatic gear changes. The whole drivetrain works very well together, and is one of the main reasons that a Subaru feels so thoroughly cohesive as soon as you start to drive it. Another is the sheer structural strength of the car. Volvo gets a lot of plaudits, and rightly so, for its long-standing dedication to safety, but Subaru also has a long tradition of keeping passengers safe. A plethora of airbags helps too, and the Forester has a 5-star Euro NCAP rating, with particularly high adult and child occupant protection scores. Subaru models also routinely top the safety charts in tough tests in the United States and Australia. Its stereo camera-based eyesight technology is regarded as one of the best of the extra set of eye safety systems, blending automatic braking, throttle control, adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist. Eyesight has yet to be fitted to UK specification Foresters, and it is unlikely such a system would have made any difference in my accident. The Forester is Subaru's SUV or crossover offering, pitching it against rivals like the Mazda CX-5, Toyota RAV4, Ford Kuga and an almost impossibly long list of others. Indeed, Subaru is among those manufacturers who can claim to have invented the crossover with its original Forester in 1997, which was basically a more rugged and practical Impreza. The model line is now into its fourth generation, which has seen the Forester become ever so slightly posher. While enhancements such as better leather and a nicer dashboard are welcome, they are not the Forester's main plus points. Instead, you will enjoy the comfortable seats, the elevated driving position and the uncommonly clear view of the road through large windows. It is an easy car to place on the road, a byproduct of its straight-edge design, and you and your passengers will appreciate the light let in by the large sunroof. It is all very calm and relaxing. A big boot, doors that open wide and make it easy to get in and out add to the Forester's user-friendliness. The switches and controls feel like they will outlast Rathlin Island. The boxy silhouette allows for ample headroom and a tremendous sense of spaciousness. The chassis offers plenty of grip, as you might expect, but suspension is tuned for softness and lopping wheel travel, consistent with its off-road credentials, rather than demolishing B-roads. The fact that much of what makes the Subaru Forester special is invisible and lies beneath undemonstrative bodywork will mean it won't even make it onto the shopping list of more fashion-conscious buyers. It rather hides its light under a bushel. Instead, its qualities are more cerebral, and will appeal to the sort of person who appreciates Subaru's singular approach to engineering and its tangibly superior build quality. The frill-free and straightforward attitude helps to give the Forester a refreshingly honest character. It feels desirable as much for what it isn't as for what it is, and in a sea of pseudo-SUVs, it stands apart as the real deal. It's also tougher than nails, and almost as tough as a fire engine.